that which has nothing to do with engaging or disengaging, proceed simultaneously with everything. This will help unwind, help ending altogether by itself. The delusive attachment is not releasing from itself, is denser and denser and denser. Knowing is not unwinding from knowing itself. There is delusive attachment that is joining together with knowing. That is the circling of the birth and rebirth in itself, in the knowing itself. So those who practice knowing or awareness, it's like practicing the knowing, practicing the cycle of rebirth and birth. It is the becoming. It is not releasing from the knower. Because practicing to attach to the knower, that's why. So that which has nothing to do with engaging or disengaging, it is releasing from the releasing itself. It's not just releasing from the knower. Lotus flower discarding from the blossoming state is not maintaining the blossoming state. It's not about blossoming or budding. Discard the discarding itself. This will be the essence that is balanced with samsara, from purification of emptiness, helping unwinding and releasing and liberation. There is not much. There is much because of the delusion to practice. Therefore, it's getting into the lane that is blocked, continuing as blocking. Knower that already exists is there with the desire, delusion and delusive attachments. Therefore, there is no need to practice on top of it. How to unwind from it is not to dwell in it. Nothing to do with engaging or disengaging together with it. Instead, that which has nothing to do with engaging or disengaging, that which has nothing to do with involvement or non-involvement with everything. Don't emphasize on looking, seeing and knowing or the mind. That is delusive attachment that is repeating itself. That is practicing attachment. That is causing of suffering and the suffering within the attachment itself. Unwinding, discarding the unwinding is not a practice. It is not a practice for achievement of anything. Listen well. Listen and ending accordingly, that's all. Listen to Buddha and ending accordingly. Listen to the Arahants and ending accordingly. It is not to practice by the desire and delusive attachment of oneself in the listening. How many Buddha eras have passed? They listen and they end accordingly and they bless accordingly. It is not to listen and then practicing, because that is excessive from the listening. The desire is excess. The desire is excessive. Delusive attachment that is excessive. Listen well. Listen to that which doesn't grasp even from the listening itself. It discards even the listening itself. That which has nothing to do with engaging or disengaging. Let's not be stuck with disengaging. All the lotus flowers discard the blossoming state. That are the benefits for samsara. The practice is circling within itself, is going nowhere. Whatever you practice, you will be circling within itself. It's still samsara. From hell to heaven, they are practicing body mind. Whether it's worldly or dharma, it's karma overlaying dharma. It is the desire that is misleading the knower. The delusive attachment and the desire, delusion, join together with the knower. Let's conclude discarding the conclusion itself. Nothing to do with engaging or disengaging altogether. Without disengaging, there is no ending, no ceasing without disengaging. But disengaging is nothing to do with engaging or disengaging. That is true disengaging. Nothing is within engaging or disengaging simultaneously with everything. This will be the mighty force to help unwind with everything, helping releasing and liberation altogether. In other words, it's the brightness that is purifying to help all together. The brightness is from releasing, unwinding. It is not in the way of having the knowing or the consciousness. It is from unwinding itself. That is the brightness. It's from natural extinction. This is the unwinding that is unwinding from itself, which is terminologies that discarding the terminologies themselves. That which has nothing to do with being empty or not empty, then it will be truly empty, which has no meaning as emptiness. Emptiness that has no traces of emptiness from the meaning of emptiness. That is not like I think it is empty, I feel that it's empty. That is the fabricated thoughts. Purify such thoughts that is fabricated with the emptiness. Nothing is within being empty or not, then it will be true emptiness. That which has nothing to do with being empty or not, that is true emptiness. And proceed simultaneously with everything. This is blessing through Nibbana, blessing samsara through the enlightenment, which is the purification through the enlightenment for samsara. Samsara of delusion, delusive attachment and desire, which is called samsara. It is the cause of suffering. So purify it. That which has nothing to do with engaging or disengaging, it will help unwind delusion, delusive attachment, and all the karmic difficulties. It will help unwind with everything. When you feel that there is no unwinding because there is an emphasis, help one another to emphasize on practicing this and that, emphasizing on causes of suffering, which is creating realms of existence in the samsara. Nothing to do with engaging or disengaging altogether. There is no need to keep the act of disengaging. Nothing is within engaging or disengaging. No need to keep it. There is no such thing as engaging or disengaging in Nibbana, but samsara has it. Samsara has engaging, disengaging, involving, uninvolving. Nothing is within involvement or uninvolvement. Let's purify this. Nothing to do with engaging or disengaging. Let's purify both instantly. Let's diligently help unwind and release and liberation for each other. It will purify karma and karmic difficulties for one another. It's not difficult. Nothing to do with engaging or disengaging, that's all. The mighty force will help unwind and liberate for one another automatically. This is a purification for all the karma and karmic difficulties, all the attachment in the perfection. Perfection is also karma. It's derived from the intention to create it. It's karma. It's a form of karma. Perfection is a form of karma. Merit this and that. that is projecting to practice. This is all about karma. All the intentions that is overlaying in the thoughts, recalls, memories, mindfulness, concentration, contemplations, and wisdom. This is karma in the karma totally, because there is no cutting deluded knowing. Deceiving one another to practice on and on. Listen well. How is it to listen and end accordingly? This is not listening and then memorizing and reciting. Listen and end accordingly. It is not to proceed with practicing. That is excessive, more than Buddha's giving. How many Buddha eras? Listening and ending is according to listening. Whoever that is delusively practicing, it is excessive of desire, using the habits of projecting for achievements, overlaying from something that one has listened to. It's all about listening and ending according to listening. Whether it's non-humans or humans, it's like that in every Buddha era. Whoever that practice and follow by reciting, that is desire, excessive desire. That is bad habits. Grasping for everything, mindfulness, concentration, contemplation, wisdoms, forming up to grasp. That is excessive, more than the enlightenment, more than cutting deluded knowing. The essence of the enlightenment is from not grasping, even from non-grasping itself. The essence of the enlightenment of the Buddhas is from not grasping for the non-grasping itself, total cutting. When there is grasping for practice, listening and remembering, that is excessive. Therefore, there is no enlightenment. It's like that all over in the samsara. There is no cutting accordingly. There is no cutting as helping. Wherever it is, just misleading to practice like this and that. No cutting at all. Listen well. Everything is from not attached to the non-attachment itself. Everything is from not grasping for the non-grasping itself. That is natural cutting. Not grasping even for the non-grasping itself. It's not about not grasping this, not grasping that, not wanting this, not wanting that. Not attached even to the non-attachment itself. That is natural cutting. Otherwise, it's going to be just about viewpoints. Still grasping for attachment or non-attachment. There is no cutting. Not attached even to the non-attachment itself. That's everything. Not grasping even from the non-grasping itself, non-attachment itself. That is helping through ending accordingly with everything. This is not to recite, to not attach to this, not attach to that. That is attached to the non-attachment itself. That is a delusion. It's still an opinion. It's still a firm belief, firm attachment to one's own opinions. Everything is from not attached to the non-attachment itself. Then there is ending and ceasing. It's not about practicing. Practicing is the becoming within itself, creating traditional values in the whole world and samsara, like that. That's why there are those who are not ending, competing to practice, competing to memorizing, competing to study. So there are just those who are not giving ending. Those who are into defilements of vipassana meditation, grasping even from stillness, indifference, grasping even from not stillness or non-indifference. Everything is from not attached to the non-attachment itself, from not grasping even for the non-grasping itself. Don't try to be deludedly begin anything. When is non-attachment as it is, just not involved with engaging or disengaging. It's all about non-attachment, true non-attachment. Purify disengaging. That has nothing to do with engaging or disengaging. There will be a purification for this. It will dissolve such a thing as engaging and disengaging, because it's still there, giving significance to engaging and disengaging. That's samsara's ways. Everything is in the way of nothing to do with engaging or disengaging. Everything will be purified automatically, end all the overlaying, end all the desire automatically. There is gonna be helping through unwinding and releasing for samsara only. It will not be stuck with just engaging or disengaging. Continue with nothing to do with engaging or disengaging, ending all the attempt to engage or disengaging. This is helping through unwinding and liberation for samsara, which is only about great compassion. Purifying samsara through the purification of the emptiness, which is great compassion to help end and unwind for samsara continuously. Nothing to do with involving or non-involving with everything. Let's not be stuck with just involving or non-involving. That is still significance within such an act. Still giving significance within knowing and not knowing. There is no purification with the significance within knowing and seeing that it's overlaying, which is the cause of suffering itself. Practicing the causes of suffering. Cause of suffering, practicing the body-mind. This is not to stop the knower or the cycle of the body-mind. Stop the overlaying of the knower itself. How to do it? Listen. That which has nothing to do with engaging or disengaging, that's all. Proceed like that. It will give ending to the desire that is overlaying body and mind, knowing or not knowing, overlaying sound, smell, taste, touches and shapes and everything. Significance within the world and Dharma, that is the desire and the cause of suffering that overlaying. Still giving significance and meanings within the world and Dharma, that is a delusion. That is from practicing. That is from developing the desire, practicing Dhamma. There is no true practicing. There is just the desire that is practicing Dhamma. It's the desire that is doing it. That is no true or intrinsic self that is practicing. It's only the desire that is practicing. That which has nothing to do with engaging or disengaging, it will end the desire that overlaying the body and mind. There will be nothing that is overlaying. That which has nothing to do with engaging or disengaging, it will release both engaging and disengaging. That is called unwinding, discarding the unwinding itself. In other words, it's not attached even to the non-attachment itself. Listen well. Listen and end according to what one is listening to. And then continue with the great compassion with everything, helping through unwinding and liberation altogether. Not to lead everyone to practice with everything altogether, to become like this and like that. That's not it. That's not the way. To make up this and that as worldly people, as noble people, as all the four entry of enlightenment, as the Arahant, something significance of the Arahants. True Arahants are not anything, no significance in being Arahant. Significance in mindfulness, concentration, with and without mindfulness or concentration. Significance like that is the desire that is practicing misleading. Desire misleading. That is still significance in sustaining the mind. That is the subject of guarding, still guarding the knower and the seer attachment with the breathing in, breathing out. That is not cutting deluded knowing, still a subject of guarding, of clinging. If you are clinging to the breathing in, breathing out, what about when you die? When everything, all the elements is dissolving, no more body, where is the mind going to be? Can you answer it? Practicing with the air, the breath. There is no cutting, deluded knowing, attached to knowing. The mind attached to recitation of Buddha, that is made up in the way that is drifting. The mind is not intrinsic self. The mind doesn't look for anywhere to cling to at all. But the desire is misleading the mind, like this, like that. It is from the desire that is doing it. The mind has to be still, like this, like that. The desire is misleading the mind. The mind is anatta, meaningless in itself. The mind doesn't grasp for the mind itself. Only the desire that is misleading, managing like this, the mind have to be like this, the mind has to be like that. Which one is it that is sustaining the mind? The desire, delusion, and delusive attachment joining in the minds. The desire misleading the mind to be like this, like that. That is the causes of suffering. Sustaining the mind is the causes of suffering. The desire that is misleading the mind. When is it that it's going to be liberated? Have to be peaceful, not peaceful, on and on, obsessed. Still giving significance to peace and no peace. That is childish, something within cold or hot. Still giving significance within extinction or no extinction, childish. Still giving significance within extinction or no extinction, no cutting, circling by guessing and practicing according to one's guess. That which has nothing to do with attachment or non-attachment. What is there that is trying to attach or not attach to anything? That is the desire that is misleading. Cut through deluded knowing well. Everything is from that which has nothing to do with attachment or non-attachment. Nothing is in attachment or non-attachment. All the delusion to misleading one another, not listening to Buddha directly. Being obsessed with something within attachment or non-attachments, the desire misleading on and on. Being obsessed with significance in being empty or not empty, that is the desire that is fabricating the emptiness or not emptiness, misleading on and on like that.